Ho, e uma garrafa de rum. E aí, pessoal, beleza com vocês? Estamos em clima de Natal e voltando para mais uma live. Opa, espero que vocês gostem e qualquer coisa podem mandar mensagem, tá bom? Está atrás de decidir qual vai ser o próximo jogo que a gente vai jogar na próxima, quando a gente zerar a Discaliza. Ou talvez eu possa até passar a Discaliza para ser uma série que eu jogue solo em casa e deixe ele pra ser uma série e traga outro jogo, seja mais animado pra vocês. Não sei, eu tô decidindo ainda, entendeu? Aí fica mérito de vocês por falarem se gostaram do meu ânimo pra série. Porque até agora eu tô amando Discaliza. Amando. Tá bom? Então, vou só colocar aqui no chat pra poder assistir com vocês. Tá bom? Só um minutinho. Desculpa. Vamos lá. Eu fico mutando o microfone. Vamos lá. Agora tá muito baixo.
Yes? I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject. If you ask me, it's high time for you to put the bottle away. Sober up, get back to basics. That would be my advice. Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stability? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for? Now I understand. Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility? Simple. Because moral intern types love to form committees.
Ah, foi a ideia que o cara me deu.
In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral intern. You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villodron. The gentleman you met in the Young Man. If I were trying to get in touch with the coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first you might need to speak with his... Now, was there anything else? Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps, I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been a better idea.
Damage.
Either way, good on you. You were saying?
Cara, eu tô muito feio. Eu tô muito feio. Se eu pudesse voltar e desfazer isso que eu vi na minha cara. Desfazer.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them. But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. Damn that girl.
Te peguei.
But you didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. as I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry.
Vai ver na sexta,
What has she
próxima
gotten
segunda.
herself into? That girl.
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her
Parece
hiding out
diferente.
from trouble before.
That's for the police to find out. Right there. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we...
Yes, early with the dogs,
8
around
horas.
8 o'clock.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No,
The truth, sire.
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation.
É muito
So I
difícil tu conversar
really
com as
appreciate
pessoas
that
velhas.
about her.
Sei lá, o jeito que elas falam. Não sei, isso é uma coisa que a gente não pensa muito, mas se a gente for parar pra analisar é verdade.
This Ruby is an old lady whisperer. She knows how to work the village elder.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish.
She wanted to talk to her, as they usually do, but she was brooding.
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go out.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I do tell. Exit from what?
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter, like you sometimes get, son. She really believes that.
Já nem se matar.
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtapes, although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched.
It's a peninsula. She might be.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Yes, it's going to be too much work for you to find her. Better for you to stay here, get a nice cozy fire going in the heat.
No, you can do it. You still have behind the cinder block houses. Old pre-war ruins rise to the sky like dark palaces. The wind calls.
What more do you want to know? Yes, let's have one thing, officer. If you do find her, please.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
Ela ganhou o coração dela.
She's a good girl. Whatever.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth. This one doesn't say anything.
Lily's our mum.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. The other one laughs. Wow. So intellectually, the stone kicking isn't even of very high caliber. Anyone.
What bad people?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present.
Then we're definitely doing it. The stone kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden.
He looks just like me.
Parece comigo.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws.
You're bad with kids. Maybe I am. Now, how about some actual police work? We are not getting anything here.
Eu tô atrás da bota. O que eu peguei?
You hold in your hand the colorful primer. The title reads, A Primer for... This book will show you the score. Get you oriented with those basic concepts, the alphabet. Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet with a faded illustration. A is for azimuth. B is for Boreas. C, H is for homeboy. I, Q is for quasar. That's it. You know the alphabet now.
Good. I also know the alphabet.
Eita. Quem tá muito sério.
Yes?
Ah, pronto, sumiu. O guarda.
Hello, mister.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Oh, I had gloves.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives.
Achei.
I think someone hid them.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
We are going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
Oh. They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good. Luby. Raluby. My mom tells me I'm a big girl. But she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or like...
Kids.
Yes, I am. Little Lily. That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything. Yes. They don't want to play with me. They look the same. They look identical. It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you replace the broken skewer you almost certainly broke.
Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry. It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered.
Yes. Very soft. Isn't he soft?
Oxe, mania.
Bye!
Date of birth
Ah,
generator.
esqueci de verificar. Vale ou não a pena upar os outros?
You were born in the year 07, in the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor. where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This
Qual é o... Tem que ficar por trás do... Qual é o... Acho que eu consegui agora, recente. Deixa eu ver só. Foi... Tira do Apocalipse. Eu tô vendo aqui qual é que vale a pena upar agora. Tira do Apocalipse. Mais 2 de percepção. Tenho quanto de percepção? Pô, tenho 12 de percepção. Eu não preciso dele. Se tem um que eu não preciso é ele. Não é. Tô procurando aqui, já volto. Calma aí. Achei. Não, não vai ver. Não vale a pena não.
weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have...
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it sleep in such decrepitude.
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with...
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then.
Seguir. Bora ver.
Take a longer look at yourself and how you're reflected in that slick chemical rainbow. No, for a second, think about something other than yourself. The engines of fortune once roared here. Great wealth poured into Revachol. The engines stopped. The West Revacholian industrial filth. This needs environmental action now. Perhaps you could dedicate your life to cleaning it up. But you're a cop. You must concern yourself with different...
Eu não quero pra lá, porque ela acabou de explorar aqui a vila.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy?
Does he actually know you? Or is he just shopkeep friendly?
So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. Sure, friend. You know it.
Don't mind old Rosemary here. He's a buffoon. Let's have a word after your high-concept transactions. I'll give you the lowdown.
See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture. You know, it's funny, actually.
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery.
What?
Keep him talking.
This guy.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The goods. I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go. It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of hell. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all. The idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what... Like 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila. What's left is this beautiful blue stuff.
Caraca.
98.7%. 2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3...
Don't say it.
£3 and it's yours, friend.
Well done. That's a much more reasonable price right there. Makes sense now.
Oh. The system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I'm milking her like a bitch goat in the backyard. You see, friend, man makes his own luck, and I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of... Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now. I got every...
The hook. Where is it? I can't see it.
Of course. It is what it is, you know. What it's always been. Aye, by amphetamine I mean speed. Sure did, buddy boy. That's why I said amphetamine. I mean speed. I mean amphetamine. I got good, my man. Now what can I offer you?
Aguardente azul.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend. In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shop.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunk.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail! Abigail! Don't you fuck.
Abigail is his wife or girlfriend. Chances are she's gone. Calling her wouldn't make it any better or worse. You're not going to get anything out of it. Never thought you'd see such a thing in your life. But this guy's a little too drunk.
Don't you fucking call her! Hear me? Abigail? Don't call Abigail! Don't call her.
Hey, tequila! Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole So what's happening? Yeah, tequila sunset. How are the,
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brune. Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
That's harsh. I'm like 3 or maybe 4 years into mine. Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back, no word.
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of...
We are saving the world.
Please! Please don't!
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. So now, it's a pirate's life for me. Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my...
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages. He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire.
It's you. We've met before. Don't you remember? Aha. Do you...
Tequila sunset. Something ominous there.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is you got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as word on the street is, you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head.
Oh yeah. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this, we get our drink on 24/7. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
You can't get off now. You have to stay.
I think that we should let him continue.
That's right. I let you finish all of yours. Anyway, there was a brief silence. A gasp of silence, if you will. Followed by a sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty.
3 men are standing on a wooden platform extending out from the shore of a dilapidated fishing village, their cheeks red.
What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you, The time! So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time. The time hath come for tequila sunset, the end of all things! Your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the...
Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice, whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep.
Meu Deus, o que que eu fiz?
Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolence.
What else was there to do? Thank you, brothers.
We asked about the whole tequila sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now, and insisted that we all call you that from then on. Yeah, I agree. Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, how they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad.
Wow. That's...
Yeah, I bet tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct.
If you only knew.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard.
Please, don't open that door.
Eu tenho que ter
No
força.
one's fucked me. I do the fuck. Abigail.
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say, beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a bit... You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose...
It's more like you were cramping theirs.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need any...
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level.
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over, just like that woman fucked you.
Já.
I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they do. You kept apologizing for being such a bad... You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid." It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs. Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum. It depends, really.
The gleam in his eyes and the slouch in his posture is... You might get scammed here.
I don't want it, man. I need it. Can't tell. So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me. Interesting. Ah.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Don't call them a...
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder/junior partner at a high I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. 22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worry, it did. With my trusty Sansaric... But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted.
He's right. His eyes are clouded. His dilated blood vessel.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. So I made my way across the yard, standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my... I wish I were Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. The people are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone...
Heavy is the head.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the... But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. Anyway, long story short, life...
He pinches his thigh as if to check whether this...
So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard. Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time.
Why didn't you go to the authority?
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me. I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen. Me neither, Tequila. When I lost my keys, I lost more than access to my apartment. I also lost my leverage. You can't imagine what that does to a man's confidence. Anyway, that was all the story. Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, I used to own my... Now I...
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
My agency. Man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing...
If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
Asking is how you get ahead. What? You've never seen 100% Lycra before?
You really shouldn't touch it.
That might be the right idea. This here is one of the last of its kind. Should probably be...
Wow, you're lucky.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosemary. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them any time. My fellow members of the Union of Moribund...
Hey, Tequila!
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a...
I thought he was a cool cop.
Don't call up.
And this is Abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together. Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically... Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. Yeah, exactly. If I knew where I lost it, don't you think I'd have it? I mean, maybe I was up somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it. I'm all ears, Tequila. You too, Tequila.
Meu Deus, só perda de tempo. Só perda de tempo.
A drop in temperature, an easy flow of air, an empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole. The road is smooth and motley, craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt thirsts. A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4:18. His boyfriend is on his way home. He brings tins of meat and vegetables with him. Their pockets are heavier with money. Number 312D. Young girls used to come here huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200. Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle, hurrying to work. The cold washes over you. The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier.
Puxa, não dá pra subir ali? Será que aqui é uma área que eu só vou conseguir entrar bem mais pra frente? Não tem mesmo como entrar. Não tem, ó. Mas só até aqui. Vai ser continuar lá. Agora para a próxima parte. Pulei tudo por aqui. Não tem não. Não tem não. Oh, criptologista.
go. Nice and easy. No way out, little...
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is a...
Who's there? Oh, the police.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it. To what do I owe?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the A81. Oh, good. We should really be getting back.
Did he say we can go back?
Yes, Gary! We can go soon! If you see Lena, tell her I...
Sir, your wife...
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going. I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed.
Well, good question. And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case. It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it, but I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they have...
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural.
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodeozoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
Seems puny, to be honest.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my... of any.
Would be glory itself.
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all that... Not yet. That's what makes...
Just out of curiosity, if there's no...
I know it's real.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than this. The most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of Yes, the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions. Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But and I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for...
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let...
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. Well...
Won't let Lena down. Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact.
Needless to say, you must ask her.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the insulin...
His spirit may be willing, but his body might be too old to endure the rigors of the coast.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule.
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick. Yes.
More than some. He admires this.
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the at least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damp locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course, but we've hypothesized.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included...
Not a big fan of skepticism, this one.
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Yes. What? I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Why not? At least it will give us the excuse to look into a lot of real.
That it will. That it absolutely will. I hope you... There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there. On your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope. You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry. Bring it to me at once. Just make sure that...
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
This is the smell of dying reeds.
I hope you're not buying this. It dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the work.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are...
Finally!
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
I've just always liked animals and puzzles.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of... Yes, the Chateauquin forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. And indeed, If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on...
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying.
It's not child's play, just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often. Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
Desculpa, chegou mensagem aí, eu me distraí.
Indeed. My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw...
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive surprise.
Agreed. Yet there is always a chance, albeit a small one, of a truly good surprise. One simply needs to look at the history of science. No, as I said, I have yet to catch it.
Interesting. Something for later, this close call.
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the... Yes? All right. What cryptids precisely?
We would have to discuss. He wants to say. You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids...
By all means.
Depois eu falo contigo, tô cansado já.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very yellow man. I mean...
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly. And yellow man. Interesting. This is something...
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization. I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's most...
Degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
I've been tempted on occasion, but someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard, serious question time. This man is no innocent.
I like to pronounce it the hard way, the old way, the Vespertine way.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great.
So you do know something?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that.
He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
My mug? Why would you think that? Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone. Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash can. You're not going to find me, are you? Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's...
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing.
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have.
Disgraced. No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Officer, please. Let me explain. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know? Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well...
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it...
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
Como assim?
What sound? Really? There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
What sound? I haven't the slightest. There's lots of...
Every day, the sound you heard was not the sound of something easily...
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
Armor?
An infant could see he's not telling the truth.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way. No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way, but I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own. Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly. Oh, yes, of course he is. I was just speaking about his connection. Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense. No problem at all.
Postura.
A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds.
That, over there, must be the boy class you told us about. The one she hid her passport.
Ooh, hidden thing. Yes, spindly extremities have been here. Snap the cords keeping the boy in place. A little longer, and it will be moves across the water, leaving no traces. You're cold again, as always. Splendor.
Indeed. Let's see what's inside.
The boy is not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom really have been torn or cut. You lift it out of the number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
There's something in there, splashing around. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out, some algae, and nothing else.
Well, damn. I have no idea.
Pegar os documentos dela.
Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope. That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her.
You could ask the miss what she thinks later if you have the time, though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
I have no idea. Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. In my experience, cryptids are generally uninterested in...
You could ask the miss what...
I have no idea. Or think we could be. We should keep an eye out.
You could ask the miss what she thinks later. The dome-shaped plastic buoy bobs up and down in the water amidst the trembling. The buoy is not tough. It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version and just a dash of hard. The water this side of the peninsula is cleaner. Actually, smells a shot.
Well, damn.
Compostura. Eita! Bora ver se vai.
Always a pleasure to see. I mean, officers.
Caraca, aumentou bastante.
Is he? He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of beads might a man like Gary be hiding beneath his clothes?
Why would I do that, officer?
Vou testar
Always
duas
a pleasure
vezes.
to... I mean, officers.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out.
Ele tá com a
underneath.
armadura por baixo.
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing this shame.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got to apologize.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor. Only the cuirass was left. So I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
As rainhas dos louva-a-Deus, essa luta é boa. Essa luta é muito boa. Essa luta é muito boa. Depois vem as três.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. CLI officers commanded...
They were thoroughly conservative. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotion.
Because I was weak. I should have...
The hell, Gary?
I'll explain later.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling off his sweat. But so light to hold. This is it. This will protect your mortal shell. Don't it?
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses lynched him because of the strike.
This is all he knows.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
Não. Gente, cálculo visual. Cálculo visual, tem 5. Tenho 5 também. Eu tenho. Nossa. Eu não tô sentindo falta de enciclopédia não. Posso dar só 2 pra ela porque é a que tá mais baixa de todos. E o outro é mais baixo, mas eu não tô sentindo falta deles.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set. Behind you, the ruins of a residential building loom over the reeds. They whisper amongst. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurers. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. No, you weren't.
Behind you, the ruin. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Behind you, when this district was.
Ah, é por aqui que eu entro nesse. Entendi.
Nothing has changed. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual. Even in a... meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days. The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much.
Cálculo visual. Os óculos. Eu uso.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them,
Meu Deus.
a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. Snowflakes fall on the wooden planks and the surrounding sand dunes. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine. The abundance of bullet holes leads to 2 options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier, a host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to ordinary people, familiar, comrades, the forsaken, the wretched, who tried to rise against the horrors of the world. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some men of duty. Murderers, twisted by orders. Young boys forced into killing. The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the... Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been it could even have been the employees of the failed R&D center down the coast, as their building was taken over.
Or maybe
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last one. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior.
A cold sea wind blows behind this building, the other one, once filled with engineers and designers of Feld Electric, now collapsed and dead. But
Pior que eu não tenho muito o que falar do jogo em si. Não é que o jogo é ruim, isso aqui é tanto diálogo que às vezes eu não tenho muito o que fazer. O mínimo que eu ia fazer. Dá quanto? Dois de lógica. Tá valendo. Tô com 10 agora de lógica.
there's no way the perk isn't here, officer. Look how scarred the boards are. All attempts to pry them off have failed.
The suspect? God, I hope not. I can't see a way in, though many have tried.
Not this time. The opposition is insurmountable. But I like the spirit. And dangerous. Dangerous too. A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing 10 meters. A cold behind.
Não, não tem nada. Ainda tinha mais alguma coisa. Foram embora.
This is the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just the reeds by the abandoned campsite. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire. This trap is also full of panicked locusts.
Another empty trap. Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
The reeds by the later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp.
Não vou chegar lá. Por ali. Vou por ali.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kisuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic...
Nice to meet you.
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's...
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting...
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail.
So you haven't seen anyone?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone.
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top...
Hold on. What's R&D?
Tá pedindo, não é? Enciclopédia tá pedindo. Eu pelo.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapse.
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. You're probably more familiar with RTD.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to... Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve. It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototype, an elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution, revolutionizing business machines, possibly even which is a feat of engineering, even today's giants. Indeed.
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly, all of this was built by Feld, even a boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. But of course, what a... No,
Pick you.
Depois eu retorno pra ti. Eu... Realmente, depois desse aula agora, minha mente bugou. Bugou feio. Vou fechar aqui, pessoal. Vou jantar. Já começou a live tarde hoje, tá bom? Eu vou jantar. E amanhã a gente continua, tá bom? Muito obrigado por todo mundo que no futuro venha aparecer. Valeu por tudo. E amanhã, se tudo der certo, a gente continua, tá bem? Se der vontade, tiver ânimo, eu posso aparecer mais tarde pra gente jogar um pouco de Genshin, todo mundo junto. Valeu. E até mais, pessoal.